Hey guys, Snuggly here, bringing you some arguably life-saving DayZ combat tips. But before we begin, we need to talk about DayZ as a game. It punishes those who dare to play with a fast and rush moves, and rewards those, as the cool kids would say, camp. But in DayZ, it's not just camping that a good player does. Behind the thin sheet of metal or thick brick wall that you're ferociously spraying your many bullets at, resides a disciplined, patient, and more than anything, aware opposition. That is the player that you want to become. The player that conquests almost any challenger that dare refuse him a can of badly damaged Heinz baked beans. A player so precise that he can pick a headshot of you when you least expect it, and then scavenge every inch of your unruined gear. Whilst in your comms, your friends panic as they wonder where the guy is. Don't worry, we've all been there. But now to tip 1. This is a relatively obvious and yet exceptionally fundamental skill, which I often see players either skip over or complete in a ridiculous manner. It is of course using third person. If playing on a regular server, third person is really the difference between life and respawn on the East Coast. It's possible to move up to cover such as walls and see over them with third person without exposing even the bobble on your character's nanny knitted woolly hat. Third person is a must use. When playing DayZ, a good player can be separated from a great player by their sheer knowledge of the area and their surroundings. I strongly recommend picking one of the many applications from my marvellously photoshopped choice of DayZ apps, which either a friend of mine or me myself have or still use to this very day. These apps come complete with a map of Chinaris and are essential to learning the areas around the map. Some even come with built-in distance sliders which help you to establish what level of zeroing your rifle must undergo before hitting your target with extreme precision. Learn the battleground and you will find yourself with the upper hand in a mere instant. Now this next tip is something that you probably think you know, like the back of your hand, but in reality very few players actually remember to do this frequently. Even I and some friends of mine think that we do this by default, but as everyone's mother tells them, a tidy room means that you can find everything faster. The same goes for an organised backpack. Yes, Mum, I'll tidy my room in a minute. Just let me organise my backpack first. It's a good idea to put your most valuable items in your backpack. They're generally shielded from oncoming fire, and therefore you are more likely to preserve your gear. It's also a good idea to have cans of food and drink at your disposal to be able to heal at a moment's notice. A healthy player is a happy player. Basically what I wanted to say was, if you are healthy and you've got a lot of food and drink, then you're going to have the upper hand on your enemy. One deviously lucky placed shot from a Mosin is enough to perish one unhealthy player, however it will take 2 to kill one healthy one. Keeping on top of your food and drink is a must in DayZ, and it also helps in combat. Next tip is about positioning. It's key in DayZ. Make sure that you know where you are and what kind of cover your surroundings are providing you with. Buildings are obviously going to provide 360-degree coverage, but issues arise when more than one opponent storms the building in which you are hiding. Make sure that if you enter a building, your attacker 1 doesn't see you enter it, and 2 doesn't have a way of finally placing a bullet through a window. This can be avoided by going prone or at least crouching down so as to expose as little of you as possible. Also remember that cover and concealment are two very different things. Make sure there's a solid object capable of taking as many bullets as possible between you and the wild Rambo-style survivor on the other side. Finally, my last tip. This is one that only the hardest of the hardcore survivors will know already, and one that I will faultlessly explain to you. You need to be situationally aware. Well, what exactly does this mean? Well, in essence, it means to be aware of your situation. Obvious really, isn't it? Well, in answer to your oblivious questioning, no it's not. In reality, the not knowing of what you may face next, the uncertainty of where that rogue sniper shot that skimmed the tip of your nose came from, and the absolute intensity that defines DayZ above all other tactical shooters out there, is what keeps us coming back for more. Sure, it's definitely important to keep eyes and ears out. Knowing gun sounds and ranges will ultimately make you able to pinpoint the location of your enemies with your eyes closed, but that doesn't mean that you will survive. A huge element of DayZ is the jump. The first to attack is often the first to win. That is of course if you manage to hit your opponent. This last tip is really just my way of saying, stay aware. Don't be incompetent, and most of all, if the time comes to you and you do die, don't be angry. Applaud your killer and start the time consuming, but yet so adrenaline pumping cycle once more. Hopefully these tips will extend your life expectancy on DayZ and lead you as the best player in your squad if you do play with friends. I know it's really helped me and a lot of my friends to survive for a longer period of time, and basically just following these simple but very effective tips is going to help you a lot in the future. Basically what I wanted to say guys was I really do hope you enjoy this game. If these tips did help you, then please do tell me in the comments or whatever you want to do. Just let me know because I really do think that they're very useful. Me and my friends have definitely benefited from using these 5 tips, and I've sort of used them as a handbook since ever playing the mod. All in all, DayZ is an amazing game, and I just love it to pieces. I love these really tense situations, and these tips should be able to help you get through them so you can experience a few more before you have to start, rinse and repeat, basically spawning on the coast, getting geared and killing and dying again. Other than that though guys, I really do hope you have enjoyed this video. If you have, don't forget to rate, comment and subscribe. My name is Snuggly, and I'll catch you in the next one.